In fact, we're going live in 2 minutes. And what does that mean? It means this is a pre-recorded message where I am getting all the links and stuff ready to go so we can go live on all the platforms, because we are on pretty much all the platforms. In fact, if we're not on a platform you think we should be on, let me know, because I'd like to be where you think we should be. Of course, if you're seeing this, it means we're on the important platform because you're here. And that's really all I got to say about this. Yeah. Minute and 30 seconds. We're going to talk about all sorts of things. Yesterday, if you didn't already catch it on television, I was on The Agenda with Steve Bacon. We talked about winter driving safety. Yeah, that's what we talked about. And you can watch that on the Agenda's on the Agenda's website. In fact, the 10-minute clip of me is right there. But you can also go and hit the traffic services Twitter. I think it's on the traffic services Twitter. You can certainly go to the voiceover cop Twitter, because I linked it there. But just check out the Agenda. It was cool. I had fun. It's neat going to a studio. I'm used to this space, which is studio-ish, but really it's just an office with a bunch of cameras. They had a full-on studio, and I wore makeup. No makeup today. The shine is real. But yesterday I had makeup, and it was really neat. It was a cool experience. I don't think I've ever had makeup put on me before, at least not for something like this. I did some movie and TV stuff like 20 years ago, but it's been a long time. And I left the makeup on. They asked me, do I want to take off the makeup? And I said, no, I want my children and my wife to see and see if they notice. So, I stuck my face in my kid's face and said, do I look different to you? And it was pretty funny. And then I told her, and she went, oh, you're wearing makeup. It was hilarious. So, yeah. 10 seconds. We will have a good live stream, and I'm just going to stay silent for like the last 5 seconds until it switches over.
And that's it. And now we're live with me, the real me, not the artificial pre-recorded me. I can click that off. I think that's kind of cool. I like doing this. I like having this new option. And look, I even made a new logo-y thing today to make it look different. I don't know how I feel about it, but we are currently broadcasting Ask a Traffic Cop, and it's going out on, did I include everything? No, I forgot Twitter. See, it's not accurate. We're also on Twitter. So we're on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram Live, and also Twitter. Now, something that you need to know about Twitter, folks, is that we can't actually hear you or read you. Yeah, it doesn't allow us to get messages from you yet. Maybe one day, but not today. It used to work. It got broke, and here we are. So how will you get to us? Well, you need to go to one of our other platforms if you want to ask us questions, because that's what Ask a Traffic Cop's all about. It's your ability to ask a traffic cop questions and get answers. It's pretty awesome. Okay. Let us get into stuff and things. We have people jumping in. We got Chase. Chase says, woohoo, this is different. Yes, it is. He says, I really want you to what is this? I really want you, Steve Bacon and Carrie Schmidt, all on an episode. Okay, interesting. So if you saw the little intro yesterday, I was on the Agenda with Steve Bacon. I did a 10-minute segment about winter safety stuff, and it was cool. I've never done that. I don't think I've ever been on TVO before, and now I have been. So that was very cool. It's available if you go to our Twitter account. If you go to YouTube and search The Agenda, you'll find it. Jacob says, morning, Sean. Akela says, greetings and salutations. That is, by the way, his signature greeting. He says, I passed on your shout out to my wife. It was appreciated. Yes, we wished her a happy birthday because we messed up. Jacob caught us on TV. What is this? Volley logo. Good point. Thanks for, okay, this is good. This bar is going to grow. The bar in the bottom right-hand corner should include Volley. Good point. And, of course, Twitter, that I forgot entirely. You also forgot Volley and Discord. No, Discord. Oh, Discord. We're not really active on Discord anymore. We were, but we're not anymore. Anyway, that's Volley has replaced the Discord. Moving along. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service. I answer your traffic and police questions Monday to Friday from 10 to 11. And let's get into some things. We have some questions that are left over from yesterday. We're going to get to those. We're also going to chat a bit in the chat, because that's what chat's all about, isn't it? It's about chatting. Yes, we are the social media people, and we want to get to everybody. But there's never enough time. Let's see here. What about using the touch screen in your car? Let's start with that one. So this is probably a continuation talking about distracted driving, because it's distracted driving to use your cell phone even if it's mounted to your car or your truck or any motor vehicle for that matter. But if you're using the the infotainment system, what does it mean? Can you get a ticket for that? Well, it's not a handheld communication device. It's different. It's different. It's different. You can be charged, though, careless driving, if it negatively impacts your ability to safely operate your motor vehicle. So, yeah. Let's see here. We have, can a foreign visitor lose? I think they mean use their European license? Lose. Sorry, no, they did mean lose. I should read the entire question. But it doesn't say lose. So did they lose their European license for a driving infraction in Ontario? Yeah, you can be suspended here. So if you commit an offense, you could be suspended here. And most people who are visiting here, I would hope, aren't doing silly things behind the wheel. But some people use foreign licenses and try and drive here over an extended period of time. If you're driving on a foreign license, you're only eligible to use it for 3 months once you become a resident, or 3 months unless you have an IDP if you're a visitor, IDP being an international driver's permit. So that's a thing. Do we leave these things on the screen? Do I need to keep putting this graphic up here, or can I take it away? Let's take it away. We can put it back later. Just put a logo up. Yeah, the logo's cool. We'll take it on, put it off. We'll, move it around. It's good. When do we change tires? Well, hopefully you're already using. Well, this is possibly a bigger question. Do you mean between winter and all season or summer? Generally speaking, you want to be on a winter tire when the temperatures hover around 7 degrees Celsius or below. And that's because the rubber compound in winter tires is designed to operate at cooler temperatures, so it doesn't get hard. A summer tire would be like driving on rocks in the winter. So that would be one. But if you're talking about when do you change a tire because it's worn out, you want to be keeping track. You want to make sure that you have enough tire tread available that you're not on your wear bars. Okay. Do you think all-season tires are better for winter? Are better or winter for snow season? I use snows. I think it's the best way to go. Using the appropriate tire for the appropriate season is definitely better than using something that's the Swiss Army knife of tires that's intended to stretch everything out. There are some new technologies, new tires out there that are supposed to be better than others. Better in terms of being. One second, I want to adjust this a little too much. Okay. Yeah, better. They'll get you through. For years and years, I drove on all seasons. In fact, my entire family always drove on all seasons. We didn't know any better. I've seen the light. I understand now the benefits of winter tires. What's this? I'm getting all sorts of messages. Twitter's tweeting. Okay. What is this? Can a G1 pull a trailer? Obviously, there has to be a full G with 4 years experience in the truck as well. Yes, you can, actually. I don't suggest focus on learning how to drive. Once you master driving, then start adding things to mess with you, like trailers, because trailers are more responsibility. Don't stack the deck against you. You're looking for a problem. That's my opinion. Is it legal? Yes, it is. I would suggest against doing it. What is this? Lots of people. Okay. What we got here? Okay. Scrolling through tons and tons and tons and tons. Lots of, oh my goodness, there's so many messages. Let's see. I can't even get to the bottom. There's so many. Okay, going to the bottom. No, that's too far. If you're watching for the first time, follow us, like us, tell your friends about us. We are that show on the internet that allows you to get questions answered. Those questions about traffic law, traffic safety, law. Outside of traffic law, we tend not to spend a lot of time because we are a traffic-centric show. But if you got questions, ask us. We might have the answer. And if not, we'll send you to the right place to get the answer. Additionally, police stuff. We're hiring, tps.ca/careers. If you are interested in a career in law enforcement, it might be the best time to join, at least the best time in a long time. So if you have an interest in becoming a law enforcement officer, whether it be as a police officer, as a special constable, as a parking enforcement officer, we're all in the business of law enforcement, different laws. consider putting your application in. tps.ca/careers. All right. We got, do you have to stop at a red light when making a right turn if it's all clear? Wow! There's a lot of people who don't know about this. Yes, right turn on red requires a complete stop. No movie. Stoppy. And then waity until it's safe and clear to go. You have to make sure it's safe in all directions after coming to a complete stop. You can't do that forward scan and saying, it's good, I'll just keep going. That is running a red light. That will get you a ticket, and it's a ticket you wholeheartedly deserve if you do it. So many people seem to be confused about it. I'm seeing it. It's like once in a while we get waves of bad driving, and that's one that I'm seeing for the first time in a long time. Just people don't know how to deal with it. So this is why I overreact and do things like, yeah, please stop before making right turns. Yeah, that one really bugs me. What do we got here? Where do I make a request? Oh, this is specific to a particular closure, but where do you make a request for enforcement, not enforcement, on a road that is closed? And the deal is that if you're looking for enforcement activity, you can call your local division, which in Toronto would be 808, and the first two digits are the telephone number or the division number. So if you want to call 14 Division, it would be 808-1400. That's the front desk for there. So why is that important? You can also go online and make a report of a traffic concern. Yeah. You can also do parking enforcement concerns, all sorts of concerns. If you have concerns, websites with answers, that's what we have there. What do we have here? What's we got? Okay. Someone was doing an illegal U-turn in a parking lot and backs up into my car, which was stopped. Who's at fault? Well, the person who was moving is at fault. Their responsibility to ensure that it's clear and safe to move the vehicle at all. Also, any kind of turning movement is a problem. But no charges would be laid. It was just a matter of who's at fault. And the biggest problem on private property or any collision is you generally don't have any witnesses these days because people don't care enough to stop and give you, their name and information. So you want to have a dash camera. I'm a big supporter of dash cameras because this would be the solution to your, proving it to the insurance company. And insurance companies might try and give you 50-50 blame, but as soon as you have video of it, it becomes their problem, not yours, or at least less of it. Someone says, can a police officer from Peel pull someone over in North York? Yeah, they can. Police officers are police officers anywhere in Ontario, so absolutely. Someone says, I've seen a post about people getting paid for reporting idling. Is this true in Canada as well? No. I don't know. I've never, someone says, hold on, I got to scroll back. Yeah, I'm not aware of that being a thing. I heard about it for parking, but it's not something we're doing here. Nothing yet, anyway. We talked about these yesterday, but it's such a good one. I'll mention it again. What happens to someone who had unknowingly suspended license? I assume you mean driving with a suspended license, and the answer is you would be notified and you'd likely be charged. If it was really early, within 7 days, you'd probably just get a warning at that point. You could be charged anyway, but you wouldn't. You're deemed to have known after a period of time. Report trucks. Oh, transport trucks, just missing the T, not ransport. It was a cut and paste error, I'm sure. Transport trucks shouldn't be in the middle lane unless to pass, right? Why aren't they held liable? Actually, they can be anywhere unless there's signage preventing them from being there. So on the 400 series highways or 404, 401, call it 401, we'll talk about that. If there isn't a sign saying they can't be in the left lane, they can be in any lane. So there's nothing to hold them liable. They're only if they're violating the rules, and there is no rule. I thought there was a rule. I thought it was across the board. You couldn't be in the left lane with the transport, but that is not the case. Peggy wants me to explain passing lanes and driving lanes. They're all driving lanes. Passing lane is not a law. It is a thing. We want you to stay to the right unless you're actively passing, but passing doesn't allow you to exceed the speed limit. And all the people who like to break the law and make the roads unsafe claim that it's a passing lane or a speed lane. It's not. You can't go over the posted speed limit in any lane, but if you're going under the speed limit, stay to the right. And in fact, we want you to stay to the right unless you are actively passing, because if not, what can I say that's not going to get me in trouble? the violators, because I want to call people stupid for speeding, but I probably shouldn't call people stupid for speeding because so many people speed they would not be appreciative of me calling them stupid. So I won't call them stupid. In fact, I will just call them violators. So the violators, see what I did there? The, the violators, if you don't give them somewhere to go, will do all sorts of unsafe things, and you put lives at risk. So just stay to the right unless you're actively passing. But at no time should you pass at above the speed limit. So good luck to you. But Peggy, I hope that answers your question. Okay, going back to my lists. Is using a mounted phone as a dash cam illegal? That's a really good question. See, technically speaking, the only screen you can look at with your phone is going to be in the mode of GPS or the basic menu when it rings and the phone caller information shows up. I think technically by using the dash cam or using the camera feature, even if it's mounted, I think technically you could be, if you're looking at the screen, you could be violating the HTA. My suggestion would be, A, that's a really poor use of your phone. Two things are going to happen. You're going to have no battery or no storage once you get there because most cameras or most phone cameras are really good. Like I got 60 frames per second, 4K on my phone. I don't want to waste that for dash cam. What I want to do is invest in a either low cost or whatever you can afford dash cam that's purpose built and puts it on a memory card and automatically wraps over and rolls over and has sensors that know when to flag with G-Sense. Like, use a dash cam as a dash cam. So I think you could be charged especially if you're driving around with the screen of your camera running. What is this? Are alternating red lights illegal on service truck that services 401? Yes, alternating red lights are illegal for anything that is not police, fire, or ambulance, and MTO. MTO has red lights. Okay. What's the maximum allowance to speed and exceed above a speed limit stated on a highway? 0. You're not allowed to exceed the speed limit. It's a speed limit, not a speed suggestion. It's not a minimum. It's the maximum. So anything, even 1 kilometer over the posted speed limit, is speeding, and that constitutes the offense of speeding. So don't speed. I'll pull you over. I mean, if you need to get pulled over, I can arrange for that. Honestly, you can't speed. Anyone who goes above the speed limit is eligible for a ticket, and really you should get one. I look forward to the day when we have cameras on every road so that if you go anything over the speed limit, you get dinged because there's probably no other way to really get the message across. Everyone seems to think that there's some percentage or factor or reasonable amount over. Every kilometer over the speed limit, you're increasing your odds of collision. And for the people who are doing 20, 30, 40 over the limit, refer to what I was referring to, the other word for violators. It's stupid. Don't do it. It's so risky. And you're going to get caught eventually if you don't get caught, if you don't hurt someone first. Have you noticed that's a pet peeve of mine? It's a pet peeve of mine. Let's see here. Oh, okay. This is a good one. Are police allowed to use their cell phones while driving, or should they be using hands-free? Ideally, hands-free, obviously. But police, fire, ambulance, anyone driving a police vehicle are permitted to use their cellular devices, handheld radios, and their laptops. They're allowed to because it's essential for the job that they're doing, the lawful execution of their duties. They need to access information that is what is the word I'm looking for? Is related to public safety or officer safety. And when we can avoid it, we do, because we don't want to get hurt. But we are in situations where we have to. And something that I've talked about this before. This device is my issued device. I can access all the police stuff on this device. And some police cars don't have computers because very often people will say, well, you have a computer. Don't use your cell phone. Well, firstly is, what's the difference? Your cell phone or a computer is still a distraction. So if you're okay with the computer but not okay with the cell phone, then the argument is silly. But most people are upset because we're allowed to do it and they're not, and that's a different issue. That's the police. We also carry guns. We also arrest people. People don't complain about that so much. Anyway, apparently I'm in a spicy mood today. I don't know why I don't feel. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. What is this? Can you get a ticket for having inappropriate stickers on your car? LOL. I don't think there's an inappropriate sticker law. I think that if you had racist or issues or something that was really hateful, I'm sure there's laws there. That's outside of the scope of what I have ever laid or looked into. But why would you want to do, like, why would anyone want to do that? Just hurting people's feelings for no reason. And it's more than that. It's causing trauma for some people. Like, don't do that. Refer to original comments. Okay. Oh, great question. I actually like this question a lot. I need tea though. Yeah, the deal with that is, the question being, can I get pulled over if my dog is in my lap while driving? Not only can you get pulled over, you can get charged with careless driving, drive while crowded. It's not smart. Additionally, you're going to get that dog killed in the event of a collision. You're also distracted by the dog. Your dog should be crated or tethered in the back seat for their safety, never mind your own. But picture this. You're in a collision. Upon impact, the airbag deploys at 200 miles per hour, sending Fluffy into your abdomen and causing the bones, the dog to compress and squish in a bad way. It would not be comfortable for Fluffy. And chances are, if the collision continued, or as the collision continued, you'd become one with Fluffy. You'd be sharing DNA. It's a bad idea. Let's see here. Oh, okay. How do you transfer a USA driver's license to a Canadian or Canada driver's license, and do you issue 4 to 8 years? I don't know what this 4 to 8 year. Okay, so first of all, if you move from the United States to Canada, it's not a Canadian license. It's an Ontario or provincial license of wherever you're moving into. But a license issued in the province of Ontario is required if you reside here, and it's issued. They're valid for 5 years. As an American driver, you would be able to take your state licensing, convert it here, and all of your experience would be accepted because there is an exchange program there. It's accepted. Yeah. Hey, if you're watching and you don't know who I am, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police officer with the Toronto Police Service, and I answer your traffic and police questions. Apparently, sometimes with a little extra. But I am here from 10 to 11 Monday to Friday, unless I decide that things like medical appointments are important. Okay. What do we have here? Why is it okay for an off-duty retiree cop to go 200 and not okay for me to go 1 kilometer over the limit? I've never heard of an off-duty retiree, but maybe that's some new terminology. It's not okay for anyone to do 200, and off-duty cops don't have a justification to speed unless they're acting in the capacity of a police officer, and a retired police officer is not a police officer, so they can't speed either. Why is it not okay for you to go over the limit? Because there's no exemption for you to go over the limit. But I'm sorry that you're angry that you can't. If you'd like to be a police officer, then you too can, while lawfully executing your duties, exceed the speed limit. It's not all it's cracked up to be. The goal is not to speed and go fast. There's a lot of risk involved, and we're entirely responsible for everything we do. Our vehicles are tracked with GPS. We have video cameras in the vehicles. We're responsible for everything we do, and we're held accountable. There's no, this misnomer that if a cop does it, he's just going to get away with it. We protect our own. Baloney. Cops are going to be held accountable because we are held accountable for the things that we do. And if you don't think that's the case, you haven't been reading the news. Oh, can you still get a ticket if your blood is less than 0.08? Yeah. If you are a young driver, someone who is 21 or younger, if you are a, what is the word I'm looking for? If you are a novice driver, so you're part of the graduate licensing program, you must have a 0 BAC, and you'll be charged if you don't. If you have what was the next thing? So you're a fully licensed G-class driver, and you have you're 22 or older, you can have up to 0.049 in your vehicle, in your blood. And still legally operate a motor vehicle, although it's not a good idea because impairment can happen with any amount of alcohol or drugs in your system. But technically, if you blow 0.049, you're going to get a pass. You're not going to get charged. 0.05 to 0.079, however, you're going to blow a WARN rating, and that is going to provide you with the opportunity to walk for 3 days because your license will be suspended. And if you blow another WARN within 10 years, you'll get an additional suspension, 7 days instead of 3 days, and so on. It's obviously that is 0.05 to 0.079 is not legal to drive, but it's not criminal. 0.08 and more and higher is criminal, and you'll be arrested and charged criminally. Okay. What is this? Is using your dashboard mounted screen the same as the dashboard? I think we talked about this again. So maybe we got duplicated question, but yeah, using your infotainment system isn't distracted driving. It is a distraction, but it does not fall under the distracted driving laws in Ontario. So you would be charged for careless driving if it was negatively impacting your driving, as opposed to that of distracted driving, which comes with a $615 fine and 3 demerit points for your first conviction. But it does go up. You get more next time. We believe in giving you more. Is it legal to drive 40 kilometers an hour on an 80 kilometer an hour road? It depends, because there's something called unnecessary slow driving. So if you're driving 40 and there's no good reason for it and you're impeding traffic, then I'd say no. But if it's a blizzard and the road conditions are poor and you can't see, then 40 on an 80 kilometer an hour road is legal and possibly the safest thing you can do. So it depends. There is no easy answer for that. What do we have here? So many good conversations going on in the chat, but yeah, if you add a cue to the chat as things are coming in, it'll help me flag it as a question. And normally I have CJ who's taking things out of the chat to share on the screen, and she is not here right now. Okay, I'm just checking into our YouTube. The big chat. Well, not the big chat. I guess it's the small chat. Ryan Pinn, good morning. Pervin says, good morning. What is this? Aloha from the Beast Coast. That's Ryan Pinn, who's a driving instructor out in Nova Scotia. Home on a sick day with my 4-year-old. That's not bad. That's not good. It's not bad. It's not bad that you're at home with your 6-year-old. It's your 4-year-old, 6-year-old, sick child, 4-year-old. But it is bad that they're sick, so I hope they feel better. Chase says, can you drive without plates if you're from the U.S. and your plates got stolen? Tough situation. No, you can't drive without plates. You would need to file a police report and make arrangements for alternate identification. You can't just drive without plates, though. Good morning to Richard. Oh, okay. What do we have here? Lots of stuff. Sorry. Oops. 4-year-old homesick. We got that. Hi, Ryan and Avery. I guess, was that for me too? Were you saying hi, Ryan and Avery? Or why am I reading it so that I can tell Ryan and Avery? I don't know. I can't tell. Let's see here. Doug Allen, is the province ever going to lower the limit in school zones? As the city lowers limits to 30, but school zones are 40, so people are accelerating 10 kilometers an hour as they pass a school. It seems like a safety issue. I am not aware of the situation that you are referring to, but that does sound like an issue. Chase wants to know what handgun and rifle is issued to the TPS. We don't usually talk about guns here, but we use a Glock 22 as the primary sidearm. That is a 40 caliber Smith & Wesson round, or firearm that uses this 40 caliber Smith & Wesson round, and it's a C8. That is, and I've never used the C8, but it's a C8 that is the long gun, and then of course we have a shotgun that is less lethal. We used to have regular shotguns. I think they're all less lethal now. And Lisa Campbell says, "Good morning, Sean." Okay, back to the questions. What is this? If someone still drives after receiving a suspension for stunt driving, what are the consequences? I'm assuming you're asking for a friend. But the deal is that driving while under suspension is an offense under the HTA. And let's pull up the whole drive while suspended verbiage, because I think it's good to read these things. Drive while suspended. Drive while... Did I not do that? Suspension. Operate vehicle. No. driving while under suspension. Every person who drives a motor vehicle or streetcar on a highway while his or her driver's license is suspended under the act of the legislature or a regulation made thereunder is guilty of an offense and on conviction is liable for a first offense of a fine not less than $1,000 and not more than $5,000, and on each subsequent offense a fine of not less than $2,000 and not more than $5,000, or to imprisonment for a term of not more than 6 months, or to both. So you can get the fine and you can get the jail time. And I kind of think we should do more jail time. I don't know if the fines are enough. People keep doing it, like habitual people who just continuously get behind the wheel while suspended. Yeah, I think they should go to jail. What are the rules for an epileptic? Sorry, what is rules for epileptic for holding a driver's license? They need to be cleared medically, from my understanding. And if they have a seizure, they would lose their license for a minimum of a year, and again require medical clearance to drive again. They have to be controlled by medication. Okay, we have aftermarket light bars that people put on trucks and Jeeps illegal on highways, ? The answer is yes. Headlights are legal. They're regulated, they're directed, they're focused, they're headlights. When you put stuff on that are not headlights, that are off-road bars, they're blinding to other people. And yeah, you can't use those. Those are off-road only. I like those questions. Let's see. We got a bunch of stuff that came in from Instagram. What if you turn onto a road? Hang on a second. Let's load this. And there are no speed limits immediately posted, and you're unsure of the speed limit. Oh. For back roads. Well, generally speaking, as you enter a jurisdiction like a town, it'll say the unposted street speed. In most places, that's 50 kilometers an hour. Unless it's being, but you enter the city of Toronto, it'll say, if not otherwise posted, this is the speed. So 50 and 80 is 50 for local roads and 80 for highways, or the larger roads, because they're not really expressways. But in any case, look for the signs. There are signs somewhere, and it's your responsibility to know where they are. So every jurisdiction is going to be different. But you enter the city of Toronto, and it tells you exactly what the speed limits are in the city, unless otherwise signed. Here's an interesting question. I crashed my car and ruined the front plate. With my new car, do I buy a new plate number or replace it? If you ruined it and it's damaged, you can go and exchange your plates, and they'll charge you a nominal fee, and they'll give you new plates. That would be the way to do it. Or I suppose you could try and flatten it, but if it's really damaged, just get it replaced. And I understand that with custom plates, you might be able to order replacements, and you may have to pay a fee. But that's a great question for Service Ontario. Okay. Pick up tailgate down for cargo, can't see plate illegal. Yeah, if you're on the OPP is famous for charging people who drive with the what's it called, tailgate down, for avoiding paying tolls if it's empty. If it's empty, is it reasonable to drive with the tailgate down if you're transporting something? It's reasonable. Is it legal? Technically, no. Are you guaranteed to get a ticket for it? No, it's going to be up to the officer. Undead Neon, who is sending blessings to everyone. And let's see here. Can TTC driver look at a customer while driving? I imagine they should be looking at the road while they're driving, but I don't know the context of your question, which seems like it's very open-ended. Well, it's not seems like. It is very broad. British Columbia has an N sticker beside plates for new drivers. Great idea. I've seen that. I think it's interesting. I've seen people who put, I'm a new driver in the back window. Does it help? Do you think it would negatively impact do you think people would just like avoid the person or want to get away from that person because they're new? Or do you think they would be more reasonable and say, they're trying. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. What is this? Okay. Someone in the chat says, it's illegal to drive with a tailgate down. What idiot made that decision? Well, the deal is you can't obstruct your license plate. So the tailgate can be down, but you're supposed to relocate your license plate so you're not covering it up. That's the issue. It's not that the tailgate is up or down. It is that you can't block your license plate. Okay. What do we have? What's the latest on e-scooters? Talk about that for a bit, please. Lex wants to know. E-kicks, no change. E-kick scooters are still not permitted in the province, not permitted in the city of Toronto. They are permitted in certain municipalities under a pilot project for the province of Ontario. 24 kilometers an hour is the maximum speed. And I just saw someone buying a kick scooter or an electric kick scooter at Costco when I was there a couple days ago. And it was one that clearly goes over 24 kilometers an hour, making that absolutely illegal anywhere in the province of Ontario. That is a motor vehicle, and it could only be operated on private property. And I've spoken to the staff at Costco who have said, well, people need to know the laws then, but we sell it. I'm like, that's a great attitude. And I used to work at Costco many years ago, and I was disappointed by that answer. But it was one person who gave me that answer, not corporate. Just one person who doesn't care about life and getting their customers in trouble. Anyway. So technically those hitch basket and storage bag are illegal. Simon wants to know. So we're talking about things that block your license plate. So technically anything, what do they call those things? They are bicycle racks. All of those things are illegal. Absolutely. All of them. I got a hum. If I hold the microphone, the hum goes away. Is it a ground fault? Something bugging me. It's humming. Can you hear it? It's bugging me. Okay. Maybe it's only my headphones that are picking it up. I'm going to try a different. I want to try and change things up for tomorrow. Okay. What is this? Good afternoon. What does novice escalating suspension mean? Good question. So the deal is this: when you violate a condition as a novice driver, you will actually get a suspension. So if you're not allowed to have, I don't know. As a G1, you're not allowed to drive on a highway with a speed limit over 80 kilometers an hour, except for some exempted roads. If you're caught violating that rule, even if you have a G licensed driver supervising you, you violate that rule, you will get a 30-day suspension on your first. You'll get a 90-day suspension on your second, and on the third conviction, you will be kicked out of the graduate licensing program. Good things to know. If you get a speeding ticket that has 4 demerit points associated with it, you will get a 30-day suspension on the first conviction. So essentially, you have fewer points to accumulate before bad things happen. So don't break rules. Don't break conditions. Don't drive in such a way that you are going to get tickets, because it's going to hurt you a lot faster than anywhere else. Okay. Can you get suspended for eating and driving? Eating and driving isn't specifically illegal, but if it negatively impacts your ability to operate a vehicle safely, it is going to be something where you can be charged for careless driving. Absolutely. This humming is just driving me. There's got to be something that's causing. Oh, I think it's interesting. I have so many plugs. I need to get maybe some better insulated cables. I don't know. Whatever it is driving me bananas. How long does it take to get your G2 after getting your G1? That really matters or depends on what you do. Because, if you're simply talking about the minimum amount of time you can wait, it's 8 months if you've taken a approved driver's course. It is 12 months if you choose not to. But I would recommend that everyone takes a driving course, because getting mom and dad to teach you, or cousin Fred, those people all have bad habits that they will impart unto you. You'll learn from their mistakes, and you'll learn their mistakes and think they're okay because they're teaching you what they do, which may not be right. They're also not teachers, unless they are teachers. That's a different story. They still just teach you their bad habits. Professional driving instructors will be able to frame things in a way to help you, and I would suggest doing that. And it's in their car. That's a bonus. Do officers get breaks when patrolling in the police car? Yes, we are scheduled a lunch break, but we don't always get it. And sometimes we don't get any breaks, but there is downtime and there's opportunities to write reports. And if we have to get a Timmy's, or if we need a coffee or a drink or something like that, we can stop and do that. It has to be reasonable, but it's not like 2 15s and a 30. We get a 1 hour scheduled break, and then if we have a few minutes to go to the bathroom, they let us go to the washroom. It's really, really nice about it. Yeah, that's the thing. What is this? I pressed the wrong button. Here we go. I got a ticket 1 year ago, and I booked a court date, but it's been a year, and I haven't got a date. What will happen? it sometimes takes a long time. However, you can certainly contact the courts and ask for an update and see what's going on, because that is a long time, and it shouldn't be that long, but it is that long. And during COVID, everything got messed up, so things are taking longer than it used to. I would certainly look into it. Doing nothing is a bad idea. Okay, one question. What is that? I'm not even moving. How is their static changing? Maybe that's So we have lots of cell phones in the area, and it's possible that that the signal's pumping up. Or maybe there's a storm overhead, like right over me. Hey, if you're watching and you don't know who I am, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police constable with the Toronto Police Service. I answer traffic and police questions every single day. It's not every single day. It's Monday to Friday. It's weekdays from 10 to 11. Sometimes we join up with Jerry Agar on Newstalk 1010 for an extra half an hour. We call it the Extra Large Show. This is always an extra large show because I'm extra large. But we do an hour and a half on the days that we're on with Jerry Agar, so we don't cut into time to answer your questions. We do a half an hour with everybody, including his audience. We're on the air, and he's on with us. And then we say goodbye to them. They do their thing. And we continue where it's just about you. Yes, it's true. All right. I don't know what this is. Why doesn't Toronto have community police centers? What is a community police center? Educate me. I don't know. We have police divisions all over the city, and those are, I gotta hold the whole microphone so the buzzing stops. We have police stations all over the city, and those divisions are home to the police officers who patrol those areas, and they base out of there. But what's a community police center? Please enlighten me. I don't want to Google it. I want someone to tell me. All right. Oh, some chat information. Noah Mortimer says, what do you do if you turn onto a street with... Oh, we just talked about this. We literally just talked about it. There's a very... Okay, let's look at the Volley. I'm getting notifications that Volley has some updates. Let's see here. All right, scrolling through. Jay says, wonderful Tuesday morning. All right, here we go.
So I tagged you in the comments of a TikTok video, but it's of a driver going down Yonge Street who's stuck in traffic, and it's because of a police car is parked in a lane of traffic with its lights off. They're saying illegally, and they're saying like it's abuse of power in the comments. So what are your thoughts on this?
All right, so without having seen the video, I'll have to go check it out. But a police car can park anywhere it has to in order to respond to an emergency call. We don't make a habit of parking in the middle of the road, but sometimes that's what's going to be required. We don't park the car and leave the lights flashing. We shut it down and we go to where we have to go as quickly as possible. If we leave the lights on and with the engine off, it may actually not be there when we get back, or not be able to start when we get back, because those things draw power. So is it abuse of power? No, it's responding to emergency calls for service, and people need to be a little more understanding about it, even though we acknowledge that it might inconvenience them. But someone could be dying if we don't get there. We don't, as soon as practicable, we would move that vehicle out of the way if it was no longer an urgent call. But we could be giving somebody CPR. Parking isn't the priority at that point, and we acknowledge that it does cause impact to people around. It's unfortunate. Okay. More volleys. Abuse of power. Wow. I don't think they'd be complaining if it was an abuse of power, if it was them that we were running to help. But whatever. Nathan says, if I accidentally run a red light at an intersection with a red light camera and an officer witnesses me running the light, will I get a ticket from both the officer and the camera? You might. Certainly, the officer one takes priority at that point because we are laying the charge against you, the driver. And if you got convicted over one, you might be able to make the argument that you want to plead to one and not the other, because then getting both tickets would be, well, that would be too much, I think. But the one that should stick is the one that the officer writes, because it's just a higher level of ticket. Technically, it's a different charge because the other one is to the owner. So maybe they could get two. I don't know. Generally speaking, I wouldn't hang out to do enforcement where there's a camera. But if I happen to catch it, I'm totally writing you the ticket because there's no guarantee the camera caught you. All right. If you have your full G-Class license and you're over 22 and below a warn, passenger has their G2 class license, can they drive the vehicle the rest of the way if they haven't drank and alcohol? Warns don't impound your vehicle, so yes, you could. There's no impound for that. It could be a tow based on nobody else available, or if a passenger that's sober is available, they can drive. Jay says, but if I drive with my tailgate down, it increases the aerodynamics and saves me gas money. Too bad. Buy a tonneau cover. Saving money on gas for aerodynamics. You sort of know what you're getting into when you buy a pickup truck. That's not an excuse to cover your license plate. All right. We'll get back to the list. Oh, there's a million questions here. What happened here? If I have a demerit points in Quebec and move to Ontario and get a new license, I believe your demerit points will carry on. Let's see here. I believe that they will. I don't know that they will. I think that they will. And they should. You shouldn't be able to move provinces and just erase your history. It's part of your driving history. I believe it all imports. You are incorrect about international... What is this? They're claiming I'm incorrect about international license. It is recognized in many countries. I think they're incorrect about their interpretation of what I said. International licenses, there is no international license. There are foreign licenses that are accepted when you are traveling for a period of time. An international driver's permit is not a driver's license. It is a translation card. And they may not have liked my answer, but it remains my answer. Okay. My local Honda dealer gives license plate covers that have clear plastic that covers the plate. Is it illegal? Yeah, all license plate covers are illegal. You are not allowed to have license plate covers or frames, whether they're clear or they're tinted. They're all illegal by rules and regs and all that jazz. Okay. 45 minutes after the hour. My name is Sean Shapiro. This is Ask a Traffic Cop, the show on the internet that allows you to ask me questions about stuff and things related to traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff in general. If you're interested in becoming a member of the Toronto Police Service, we are currently hiring. Yes, you have an opportunity to become one of us. I'm trying to scroll through a million things so I can give you the link on the screen right there. Traffic Cop, no. tps.ca/careers. But I said Traffic Cop, and it makes perfect sense because I should put that link, if I haven't already, on trafficcop.ca, which is my link tree. So I'm gonna do that. I am going to do that. And my name, which I said before, but I put it on the screen, Sean Shapiro, Toronto Police Traffic Services, and I work at Traffic Safety Programs. It's an amazing place to work, I got to say so. License plate brackets illegal. Brackets? Yeah, if they're frames or covers, they're illegal. How long do points stay on your license? Points stay on your license for 2 years from the date of the offense. Your record, however, it remains on your record for 3 years from the conviction date. This is a great question. Why would I get a ticket for my license plate being faded when it's not my fault? Government made them. Louise wants to know. Because it's your responsibility. It's still your responsibility. You need to do the circle check. You need to look at the plates, and if they're not legible, you got to take them in and get new ones. You can either get them covered under warranty within the first 5 years, or pay and get them replaced. But I will tell you that the $50 or $52 to replace your plates, if they're not covered by warranty, is cheaper than $110 every 6 blocks. You would get tickets. You can continuously get tickets, and you shouldn't. Does every cop start as a traffic cop? No, only the few, the proud, the most magical get to be traffic cops. We are a special breed, and not everybody appreciates my humor, but we are specialists in the field, and not everybody is interested in that. I started off as a primary response officer. Actually, I started off as an auxiliary officer, became a court officer, and then got into policing, always wanting to be a traffic officer because I was an auxiliary in traffic. I wanted to ride the motorcycles. And then I got to come to traffic, and it was a dream come true. It really is the best place to work. And if you're interested in policing, most people want to do the running and gunning, the stuff they see in the movies, and people don't realize just how important traffic safety and traffic enforcement and traffic investigation is. We're dealing with real people every single day that need help. They need help from various things, and we help them with those things. This buzzing's driving me bananas. Buzzing for 2 years. Now it's just bothering me. Someone says, political correct answer again. I don't know what answer you're referring to. However, what would you like me to say? Would you like me to be politically incorrect in an answer? I don't know. It's probably a career-ending thing. I push the envelope enough as it is. But I don't know which one you're complaining about right now. Yes. Clear covers can distort the plate for cameras and readers. Absolutely. Thanks, Vehicle Valley. That's Jace, undercover Jace. Okay. What is this? Is it illegal to switch lanes in an intersection, or is that a myth? It is a myth in Ontario. It is a dangerous thing to do by doing things that are not the norm. People turning right on red, legal. You make a lane change while they're making that. You're rolling the dice. You're likely going to end up in a collision by doing that. I would suggest against it. But it is, when you have to do it, totally justifiable when you have to do it. But you wear whatever happens when you're doing it. Someone said, why are clear plate covers illegal? Please explain. Somebody already did, and it's because they are not optically correct. They can distort, or even in some cases they are polarizing features that make it invisible to cameras. They're actually there to prevent you, or from us, from reading your plate. Those make it illegal. Aside from the fact that you're blocking it, they fade, they get dirty. It's just a bad scene. In Canada, come on, stop scrolling. In Canada, do you use kilometers or miles? Smashburger wants to know. We use kilometers here. I see no good reason to use kilometers, but we do use kilometers. I grew up on miles, man. I inches over centimeters, so I'm all messed up because I grew up when, listen, metric system's always been here that I can remember, but I grew up with the imperial system. I have to have tools that are both, and whatever. Somebody, Trout Bum has silly things to say, and I'd ban them, but they're entitled to their opinions. They're wrong, but they're entitled. What is this? Is it legal? Oh. If a school bus is speeding in a school zone with camera, are they issued a ticket? Anybody who goes through a camera, including police officers, would be flagged. And the parking of hospital, what's up? Oh, but I'm just live on the internet for another 10 minutes. For sure. Okay. Let's see here. But, I lost my train of thought. But, here we are. So school buses, any vehicle that goes through that intersection, speeding or running a camera on one of those automated enforcement cameras is going to get recorded. With a police vehicle, it's going to go to a sergeant for review, which means that someone's going to get documented. They're going to lose 8 or 16 hours of pay. If it's a school bus, they're going to get charged too, and it's owner responsibility, which means the school bus company is going to come down and look up their little log and say, who is driving bus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that person's probably not going to work there much longer. Smoking during driving is ? It is a question mark. Why would anyone do that? Why smoking is that a thing still? The deal is that smoking and driving, if it's not a work vehicle, is legal as long as there's nobody under the age of 16 inside of the vehicle at the time, because the Smoke Free Ontario Act prevents you or prohibits you from smoking and driving with children on board. Is there a failure to circle check charge on civilian cars? No. There's no specific charge for it. However, there should be, because people don't do it and then bad things happen. Noah has a winter driving question. If you see someone skid into a ditch, are you legally required to stay at the scene of the accident? First of all, it's a collision. Is it an accident? If not, yeah, it's still a collision. A loss of control resulting in them colliding with the inside of the ditch? Yeah. Legally required to? So I used to think that any collision, if you witnessed a collision, you were legally responsible. I don't believe there's a legal requirement. Morally, would you not want to make sure that person's okay? Now, if you're involved in the collision, if you were involved in the collision, you caused them to fly away into that ditch, you're absolutely required to stay. But I want to look up something because I don't want to speak out of turn. Let's see here. Failure. What's it called? Safety? No. There's a charge for this. It's under collisions. Let's find it. Because if you're involved in a collision and you fail to check on them for is it under life? Come on, why can't I find collisions? Really? Oh, here, motor vehicle collisions. No. I'm reading everything here. Because it's bugging me. Fail to render assistance. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, here you go. Where an accident occurs. Why do they still use accident? They got to change it. Where a collision occurs? On a highway, every person in charge of a vehicle or streetcar that is directly or indirectly involved in the accident shall remain or immediately return to the scene of the collision. Render all possible assistance. Upon request, give to writing anyone sustaining loss or injury So technically, if you didn't make contact and you had nothing to do with the collision, you're not obligated. Should you be more? I couldn't drive away. I get involved with every collision I come across, and I did it well before I was a police officer. Because if someone gets hurt, we should help them. What if someone's dying in there? And especially if there's nobody else around. You're the only person who can call 911 because that person's bleeding out in a ditch, and you could have made the difference between life or death. Stop and help people, even if it's not because you have to, because it's the right thing to do. Yeah. But no, I'm glad you asked the question. Can 4 demerit points affect your police application? Anything can affect your application. We're looking for the best, most rounded applicant. We're looking for someone who's honest and forthright, and also someone who follows the traffic rules. So listen, if you're driving is a key component or a large component of policing. You're going to be driving a motor vehicle, and we want to know that you are going to follow the rules while you do it. If you don't have respect for the rules now, how are you going to be expected to go and actually enforce the rules? You don't follow them yourself. Yeah, not cool. Let's see here. Dad joke. Oh, I could use a dad joke. We have to. Oh, good. We got 2 dad jokes. 5 minutes left. Let's see. Dad joke. Why can a letter never speed? Because no matter how much it pushes the envelope, it's still stationary. It's actually pretty good. I'll give you, Kayla, I'll give you that one. That's good. And Chase supports the moral requirement to stay for a collision. I agree. And that's why we're friends, because he agrees with me. And I agree with him most of the time. Let's see here. Kayla's taken off, and it's not even the end. We have like 5 minutes, 30 seconds. We had a dad joke. How did the hipster, and I'm not ragging on hipsters. If you're a hipster, power to you. How did the hipster end up in the lake? He went ice skating before it was cool. Actually, we actually had our Marine unit save 3 people who fell through the ice skating, and they fell through. They were like in the water for like 15 or 16 minutes. Article on tps.ca if you want to read more. It's probably on the Toronto Police Twitter as well. But kudos to those officers who saved the ice skaters. Don't go out on the water. The temperatures have been have fluctuated so much that the ice is not safe to skate in. You know where you can safely skate? In skating rinks. Stay off the water. It's not. I don't want to hear about anybody getting hurt. That was Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. Is that the only dad joke then? I've ripped off the only one. Okay, I guess I'm so used to being behind the in dad jokes that I thought we had a couple to read. Anybody got a dad joke? Comments with dad jokes? No? In Sweden, if you go over 30 over the limit, you lose your license on the spot. And if you go over 50, it's for 1 year minimum. Smashburger, that's awesome. I've never heard that, but that's really cool. And does that mean that people don't speed, or people just lose their license a lot? User, what's the full last 4 digits? 5961 says, great content. Thank you very much. We are going to be back tomorrow from 10 to 11, and it might be the last show of the week. The reason being is there's something called OMRON, the Ontario Media Relations Officers Network. I had to think about that. And I have a meeting to go to, so I may not be here Thursday or Friday, but it is going to be a show. Not that it is. There will be a show tomorrow, and we'd love for you to join us. So if you don't follow us, please follow us, regardless of the platform you're on. It's just one of those things we'd love you to do. And, of course, if you are interested in watching any of the episodes that we've had on in the past, including our podcast, Traffic Jam, TPS Traffic Jam, you can get it on YouTube, which archives everything in an easy-to-find way, which also reminds me I need to edit an episode. I've got 2 episodes in the can. I haven't recorded any new podcast episodes, but you can listen to old ones by going to all of our go to trafficcop.ca. That's just the easiest way to go. I say that because there are so many links and so many social media platforms that we are involved in, that if you just go to trafficcop.ca, you can get to all of them. You can also check out our podcast. And yeah, did I talk about? I didn't talk about it. Holy smokes! Vision Zero Enforcement Team. I usually do this at the beginning of the show, and I didn't. I neglected to give you the information that everyone needs to know about. Vision Zero Enforcement Team is a team of dedicated officers focused on enforcement of the Big Four. What are the Big Four? Those are the behaviors that drivers engage in that are known to lead to serious injury and death on our roads. Today, the 7th of February, we have officers in 22 and 55 Division. Where is that? Well, it's Etobicoke, West Mall, Queensway, the Beaches, Riverdale, Danforth, East York, neighborhoods where real people live, work, and play. And they deserve to be safe. So officers go out there every day and try and change driver behavior. They want to make sure that people aren't speeding, driving aggressively, driving distracted, or driving impaired, because those are those behaviors people choose to engage in. And we know they lead to serious injury and death. There's a reason we go after them. You know, we write tickets for all the violations. We focus our efforts on the ones that hurt people. And for the people who think speeding's okay, these officers, when they meet you, they'll give you a ticket to remind you that it's not. No hugs, just tickets. They don't do anything else. They don't do anything else. They do lots of stuff, but it's all tickets. They don't go to collision calls. They don't do radio calls. They're busy trying to do. What is this? Are you not concerned how TikTok would spy on your entire unit? No, I've worked with TikTok directly. The fine folks there don't care whether or not I go to the bathroom, regularly or not. They just want to help us provide information. I don't see a security concern there. But hey, other people say different things, and it's cool. What is this? Is Vision Zero just in specific divisions or across Toronto? Vision Zero is across Toronto. We are a Vision Zero city. And actually, there are Vision Zero cities across the planet. So for more information on that, go to Vision Zero Toronto. You can get all the information and more there. But you can search Vision Zero. It is it's not an association. It's a concept, and we're really invested in it. 10 to 11, last show forever. What is this? Yellow service plate. What are the rules? Best donuts in town. Best donuts in town. I only have one donut that I really like, and it's a raspberry-filled Krispy Kreme. Everything else I can live without. But there's apparently some really great donuts. I don't see what's going on here. Let me scroll through, trying to find a last. No, I can't. We're out of time. It's 11:01. This has been Ask a Traffic Cop. My name has been and continues to be Sean Shapiro, and we'll be back tomorrow, 10 to 11. Here's the traffic song to see you off. Till that time when we come back. But this is written and performed by a police officer right here in the building. It's true.
Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely helps the traffic flow. Watch for pedestrians, look out for bikes, and don't drive like a jerk that no one likes. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely is the way to go. Put down your cell phone, nobody needs you to text and drive on the DVP. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Stop at stop signs, look both ways, then go. Seatbelt, save your life indeed. And watch your driving, don't speed. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely is the way to go. Don't drink and drive or smoke some weed, because you might go to jail and not get free. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely helps the traffic flow.
Owen Jones had a question. He says, is this account your personal gig or an official TPS account? This is an official TPS account. It's a verified account. It's the Toronto Police Traffic Services Unit. My account is VoiceOver Cop, which is still an actual TPS account, but mine. In any case, countdown to bye.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.